Alisa, can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, so Alisa, I forgot to tell you, actually, G unblocked your IB. So actually, it is not from my website. It is from my hosting provider. The hosting provider is a company in US that hosts my website for me. Um, so they detected that your IB was blocked, and they managed to do something that to unblock your IB. I have no idea why your IB triggered their defenses. They think that you are, I mean, you are a hacker or something. I'm not very sure why they have done that.
Uh,
So they
I
managed
think
to
it might
correct that.
because I think it might because I was logging in with the school Wi-Fi. It is a public Wi-Fi. That might be why.
Possible, but I believe if you click now when we are studying, I believe it will open. So can you just reply me 1 hour ago? So you can give it a try and let me know so that I also can follow up back with them if there is an issue. Okay.
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 Do I do it now or like after class? After class.
You also can do it after the class, no problem, to save the time here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So okay, Alisa, when if this evaluate to 0, let me confirm that we are recording. Yep. Okay. So if this evaluate to 0, then we have at least 5 coming out. Okay. And if this evaluate to 5, so if we expect Drand to generate, let me see, if you multiply, I want you to multiply here 0.99 times 6. What could be the result? 5.94.
Mm-hmm.
So 5.94, if you take the floor from that, how much could be the number, the output number?
5.
So it means that you have a minimum of 5 coming. So sorry, this can have a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 5. So if you add 5 to 5, then you end up with a maximum of 10. I need to repeat
Okay.
again. Make sense?
No, it makes sense. The random, does it go from like 0 to 0.999? Does it never get to 1? Is
Yes,
that it?
it never get to 1. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Then all right.
Okay. So okay, I think now we revealed what could be the possible issue. So actually, that is the most difficult part or tricky part here. And so be aware. I will try to give you another exercise that tests your ability to produce a different range. If you are able, then this part is already done, and you no need to worry later about this kind of questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. So at the moment, let us hurry to. So Alisa, you asked me to give you a reference for all the possible VB functions. But again, you're not able to enter the exam with that. Okay, so that is a possible reference that I am able to give to you is 3 or 4 pages that summarize almost all the functions in VP. But again, not all of it we will need to know it. But since you requested, then it is then fine. So Alisa, we would like to take a selection here. I believe we didn't take this part last time. So can you remember with me, please, Alisa?
The operators,
Yes.
I didn't take it. You didn't mention it last time, but I know
You know
these
it.
already because they're the same in pseudocode. Yeah.
Okay. But, in pseudocode, a little bit, yeah, okay. We can say VP
No,
slightly
it's the same.
closer. Yes, slightly closer. Yes. So,
Yeah.
okay, we will take the if then, which is almost exactly like also the pseudocode. So you know the if
Mm-hmm.
statement, right? So if statement need to have a condition,
Yes.
and we always need to have end if. and we put then. So we give it a condition here. So you are asked in this code to enter a grade, and then you put something on the keyboard that is stored in a variable called grade, and then he check if the grade is bigger than 50. Then he will say you have passed. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can move. Okay, we are able to, in if statement, to have actually complex conditions. So complex condition can contain two or more conditions. So this is condition 1. He said that the grade should be bigger than 50, and if the grade is less than 70, he will say you have passed. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
So so what condition he is testing? So if my input is the grade is between 50 and 70, what can he will print that statement or no?
Sorry, say that again.
Okay, I am telling you a condition. I'm testing you with a condition. If the grade, if I input inside the grade variable a value between 50 and 70, will this be guaranteed to be printed, this line?
Yeah.
No. Revise again. 50 and 70.
Yeah. Oh, 50 and 70 themselves, no, because it's like larger and smaller. But if it's between these two, then yes.
Okay, that's a good answer. So, okay, and we are able to use and, we are able to use also or. So do you know the difference between and or?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the difference?
And for and, both of the things have to be like, both
True
of the
or valid?
Yeah, they both have to be valid, but if it's or, only one of them has to.
Perfect. Okay, what about the not? Do you know the not?
Yep.
This?
Yep. Not is just like if it's the complete opposite, like if it's, how do I
Okay,
say?
perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
so if you
it's just the
understand, then
opposite.
yes, okay, good. So I would say then we are able to also check our understanding if we know how to use if else. So you know what can be done with if else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the same like pseudocode, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We move to the nested if. Have you used nested if in pseudocode? This is not so common in pseudocode.
Yes.
So, okay, have a look at this. So I would say if the grade, this is the same like before. So if we have the user input a grade that is bigger than 80, he will say, okay, you achieved grade A. Else if, then he will test the condition. With else, you actually will accept any other condition other than this one. And then you will just execute that line. But with else if, then he still need to check. So that's why he will take it step by step. So if it is bigger than 80, then we will just print that line. If it is bigger than 60, he will print you get grade B. And then he will check else if again. And he put a condition. If it is bigger than 50, then he will put grade C. Else, so it means that anything less than 50, it will print that line. Is that clear to you, Alisa?
Yep.
Okay, sure, there is no issues. You know when to use else if and when to use else.
Yeah, this is I think this is the only testing so far that's the exact same as pseudocode. So
okay, good, is good. Because
it works.
yes, okay. So the point here that I want to give something new to you today, because that kind of level, this doesn't have any questions that really can come in the exam. So I mean, you can use that knowledge in building a bigger code, but there is no specific questions that come in this portion because they depend that you already have done something similar on pseudocode. So I will try to jump as much as I can here until we start to reach something that is really important, and then we can start practicing. Is that fine to you?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. So have you seen a select case before? Do you know what's the meaning of select case? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you understand the code here and tell me if you can understand what is it doing?
It's basically like assigning something to like certain cases lah.
No, it's not assigning.
Is that one way to put it?
No.
Not,
So
I wouldn't say assigning. It's like
so a select case,
yeah.
Alisa, is exactly like the if else that we have seen before, but it is written in a different format, just a different format only. So exactly the previous code that we have seen with if and else if, and then he checks the grade one by one, is exactly same, except that it is just a different format. Okay, so he want to check which line to print. He have many options to print, but here he have a tighter control, and less the appearance of the code is less complicated, slightly less complicated if we compare it to else if. So can you see here he say case is bigger than 70? Okay, so if grade is actually bigger than 70, so he will here in every case he will test whatever value is stored inside grade. If whatever inside grade is bigger than 70, he will print that line. If it is something between 55 to 69, he will print grade B. We cannot achieve that flexibility with the if unless we write a complicated condition. So we need to write a complex condition with the if to be able to achieve this range. So you see here, when we write our condition here, we only write in the else if it is bigger than 70. We didn't write two things. We didn't write between 60 and maybe 79, for example. We didn't do that. Am I right?
Yep.
So, okay, good. So here, like I said, he's able to write a tighter condition in a simple form. So here, I'm testing. If grade have 15 now a value between 55 and 69, he will print grade B. So what about here? Any value for grade between 45 and 54, he will print grade C, and so on. So, and also I'm able to actually use values, individual values, like here. So he said, okay, if grade have 41 or 43, then he will, so it's not something between them, it's only 41 and 43. He will print grade E plus. If the grade is 40 or 42 or 44, he will print grade E minus, like that. Case else, anything else that is not here, like that, it will print grade D. Have you seen something similar? Is it hard to grab?
No, this is fine.
Really? Okay. So, Alisa, you need to practice. I can't emphasize more.
All right.
Okay. So, Alisa, you need to tell me what this code is doing and why is it formatted in this way?
Oh, is it the day, like how many days there are in a month?
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now tell me why he need to write cases like that.
Because like, you know, the days of the month depends on what month it is, and if we use the if statement, it's like going to be way longer.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's excellent. Excellent. So, and why he write two here, Alyssa?
Why he write to where?
Here?
Oh, because the on February there's only 28 days, unless it's like a leap year, but like we don't count that.
Okay. Yep.
Is it not?
Yeah. It's correct. That's correct. It is just that I'm not seeing this guy putting the month of December, but I think he just missed out. That's
Yeah.
why I just yeah, I just look. But again, it is just a simple. If you just want to put it, we can even just put it something like that. This is the only thing that sometimes they have printing issues. This is an official document, so it's okay. It's fine. Okay, I would say, okay, since we understand, so another use of this select case that can come to a rescue if we have a lot of condition to check or to test. If you are asked to enter a character, you know what is the difference between a character and a string?
Yeah. Character is
Okay,
like only one, right? Like one character.
yes, perfect. Okay. So, Alisa, sometimes certain types of code are actually, or exercises, uh, and even in previous exams, like maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, they will tell you, okay, enter a password, and then he will ask you to check if the password have one capital letter, one small letter, and at least one number. So, did you take the ASCII code before?
Mm-hmm.
Did you take it? Do you know what is mean ASCII code?
We've learned it, yes.
Okay, good. So you know that every character can be represented with a number. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So he's testing here. He's telling, okay, enter a character, and he wanted to make a select case to check. So if the character is between A to Z, capital letters, then he will print is a capital letter. And if the letter entered is between A small to Z small, you will be able to detect that. So you see this, if we want to put an if conditions with this kind of thing, is actually almost impossible to do that. That will be tons of if conditions that we need to put to just guarantee. There is a smarter ways to make it shorter, but this is more clearer and more easier for us to do it. So if we want to say or to check that this letter is between 0 to 9, he also able to put a case this way. If it is an operator, plus, minus, asterisk, division, then he is able to print operator. Other than that, it would be just a simple, because the ASCII code have a lot of things inside: capital letters, small letters, numbers, operators, and another symbols. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that clear to you? What he can use the select case for?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know select case start with the word select case and the variable name here, and it end up with end select. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I will try to pass you exercises, but okay. Now I think you have seen. Yeah, tell me, Alisa.
For these exercises, if like because we're in a rush, you don't like you can you just like send me these so that I can do it like later
Yes, sure.
after classes?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And but isn't it this is what I'm doing after? So what difference you are asking for? Because I do that after the classes, or you mean that I send it slightly later than that?
Yeah,
You want it immediately?
just No, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just send it to me like whenever you're free. I usually do it like in between breaks at school anyway.
Oh, okay, okay, fine,
Yeah.
fine then. Okay, so okay, now I think you have taken the for loop in the pseudocode. If you can remember, it's slightly closer
Yep.
to that. Okay, so the for loop is actually important to us because yeah, many things to handle using the for loop. So here, can you tell me what is the purpose of these 3 lines of code?
Um, for well, it's kind of in the name, like for the index for the numbers like 1 to 20. Um, it will display the name. It would display index times 5 is, and then like the answer,
Okay,
and then
okay, good. So it's like
yeah,
a multiplication table. Is it something like that? Can we say? No, it's not, right?
it's not.
Okay, good. So do you know we are able to do a step this way? So it means that, so if we start from 2 here and we until 10,
Mm-hmm.
we no need to increase. So index will have values 2, 4, 6, 8, and not previously if we didn't put step 2, so it will take values 2, 3, 4, 5 until it reach 10. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
So
I do have a question though.
yes,
Is there no N4 in VB.NET?
no n4 means no, sorry, can you?
I feel like cause I think when like when we were doing pseudocode, we would have to write like for example,
Yes,
this thing at
n4.
the
I mean, you're talking
yeah.
about no, there is no n4. No, here no.
Okay.
It's only next that you need to put.
Oh,
Okay, so
so
yes, they're slightly different. Slightly.
okay, that's fine then.
Okay. And also it's possible, although I don't see a common use for that in the exam questions, but so again, the step here that you can use, Alisa, is to actually, you can put a step 2 here like that, and or you can put it step minus, but then it means that you have to start from a bigger number. So it means that first index will be start from 10, and then minus 2, it will be 8, to be 6, 4, 2, and 0. Does this make sense so far? So I'm able to increase from 2 until 10, and I'm able to start from 10 here and until I reach 0 every time I decrement by 2. So you are able to start from bigger number until you reach a smaller one, but then you have to write a step minus 2. It can be minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, or whatever condition you want to put.
Oh,
You are flexible with that. And also here, it's not fixed. That is, it's by default, if it is omitted, he would just make a +1. But if you put it, then you can specify 2, 3, 4, whatever. It's up to you. Alisa, does this make
yeah.
sense?
Okay.
Is it difficult?
Um, no, actually, I'm just writing it down. So if I put like a step 2 at the back, instead of going one by one, it'll like go like by 2, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So since this, okay. So Alisa, can you see please what's happening here?
Yeah.
So now you see when I put this code that we talked about now, it prints from 2 until 10, but the index, when it is printed, it takes in increment by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It makes sense?
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So Alisa, I think I will take the while, and yeah, I still prefer to. Okay, so there is something called a while loop. Have you came to it before? Have you seen it before? What's the meaning of a while loop?
Yeah.
So do you
It's
know?
another kind of like loop kind of thing.
Yes, but it's related
What?
to. But this loop is different from the for loop. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you
This
tell me what is the
is
difference?
it's more of a as long as the condition is there, keep
Aha,
repeating that.
exactly. Yes, you nailed it. Okay. So I would say there is another option. I don't think that you have seen it before in pseudocode. Have you seen that in pseudocode before?
Seen what?
Do, loop, until.
No.
Okay, so here the difference between the while and the do is that the first time before you run the do, the while, sorry, here, that, okay, to be able to run a while loop even one time, this condition have to be true, evaluated to true. If the first time you try to run the while loop, this condition is not true, it will never ever run that code. But the do loop is slightly different. So the first time it runs, it actually, you don't need to really satisfy any condition. So you just don't need to check that the first time you run. So when you run, you check do, there is nothing, no conditions here. So it means that we will always run these 2 lines here for at least one time before we start to check the condition here. And here he is saying loop, keep looping until this condition is satisfied. So until name have X, we will keep looping. If it doesn't have X, it means that we keep looping. It's slightly different.
Okay. It's very similar to the repeat until thing in pseudocode, right?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Okay, good. So I believe we are able to, yes, this is actually the most important thing here. Okay, so did you hear about arrays before in pseudocode?
Yes, I'm quite terrible at it though.
Okay, so typically most of the books talk about that pseudocode start from 1. So specifically and typically when they write an array. So do you know what is? Tell me just first basically tell me what do you remember about an array?
It's like
We have to
it's
close
kind
it.
of like a table. Oh yeah. I'll just rejoin that.
Okay.